So is bad technique and therefore just lifting super heavy with partial rep ranges and so on, is this a bad thing? Obviously we've got various people who you see in the gym who are doing quarter squats or whatever, or they're doing, you know, very minimal ranges of movement but with giant weights, and you know, they're like, oh, it's all about the weight, that's what's going to help me to build muscle and strength. And you know, there are even people who are, you know, famous in the bodybuilding world like Branch Warren or Ronnie Coleman, and people who lift supersonically heavy, especially with Branch Warren, with pretty poor technique. So what does the research say on this? Because obviously a lot of people say a lot of things, and the interesting thing is they did do a comparison study where they used partial repetition but still with really heavy weights. So they used heavy weights that were heavier than the full repetition range, the full range of repetition group, and they found basically, yes, you built less muscle in the partial range even with a heavier weight. So this research does really conclude this. But the other interesting thing is, what is full range of movements? So I've done videos on this before with regards to, you know, if someone's doing a bench press, a lot of people might say the bar should touch your chest, as if that is full range of movement. But the thing is, this comes down to your body's shape. So therefore, what you would look at, if you're looking head down, you'd look at how much elbow behind your body position you've got at the end of your range. So there are powerlifters who basically can get the bar to touch their chest and their elbows are barely gone to flat, if not slightly ahead of their actual shoulder joints. So they're not even in any extension, if you like, a horizontal extension. Whereas someone else might be like me, have to go very, very far back to actually get the bar to touch the chest. And this would mean, if you look at range of motion, as a physio, we look at range of motion as the angle of a joint. So the angle of the shoulder joints would be greater on me without the bar touching my chest than on the powerlifter with a big barrel chest and short forearms touching their chest. Their angle would be less, even though the bar touches the chest. So what you've got to look at is, yes, full range of movement is good, but you've also got to look at what constitutes range of movement, and you've got to also think about strength curves in this as well. A good example is a fly. So obviously the trouble with the fly with the full range of movement with, say, dumbbells is, at the start of the range at the top, the load is pretty much negligible on the pecs, and as you go further out, the load increases. The lever arm gets basically longer and the gravitational force comes more perpendicular to the load. But you're also in your weakest position here as well. So this is obviously a risky place with a very heavy load in the weakest point, with the heaviest load mechanically and the heaviest load biomechanically in terms of where gravity is. So you've got to also think about, if you're going to train big ranges of movement, you've got to think about how the strength curves go as well. So it's not always as simple as meets the eye, but certainly it shows that if you can load well through a range of motion, then that's much better than loading well through a short range of motion for building muscle. So yeah, so don't really get onto the quarter squats kind of thing, you know? So anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time.